Have you ever chased something for so long that when you finally got it, it almost killed you? Not in the way people imagine, not with a crash or a public collapse, but quietly, slowly, through a silence so loud it drowned out everything inside you. It didn't look like pain, it looked like achievement. But inside, you felt hollow, like something precious had been traded away, and no one, not even you, noticed it happening. We're taught early on, success is the goal, success is the point. Success will save us. If you work hard enough, stay disciplined, keep proving yourself, then one day you'll finally be enough. So we chase it. We chase grades, promotions, milestones. We chase titles that sound important. We chase validation in the form of applause, salary, and social approval. We become masters of achievement. We know how to perform, how to impress, how to win. But in that process, we often stop noticing the cost. The nights we come home and don't remember what joy feels like. The mornings where we open our eyes and feel nothing at all. The quiet truth that the person we're becoming is not someone we actually like. There was a time I thought I was thriving. People admired what I did. My name opened doors. My bank account looked healthy. But I'd come home, stare at the ceiling, and feel like a ghost was living my life. I was not in pain, exactly, but I was not alive either. I smiled in meetings. I hit deadlines. I answered every email. I even gave speeches about fulfillment and purpose. But inside, I was quietly disappearing. It wasn't burnout. It wasn't failure. It was something worse. I had succeeded at becoming someone I was never meant to be. One morning, I stood in front of the mirror. I looked fine, sharp suit, tired but presentable. Another day ahead with meetings, decisions, plans, but my reflection didn't feel like mine. The eyes I saw had no light, no grief, no joy, just absence. A person who had mastered playing the part, and I realized I hadn't been living. I had been performing success, performing confidence, performing a version of myself I thought the world would reward. And they did reward it. But applause is a poor substitute for peace, post-success depression. No one warns you about the emptiness that can come after success. There are books about how to win, to hustle, how to climb, but no one tells you what to do when you've arrived and feel absolutely nothing. This is something few dare to admit, that sometimes winning feels like dying. Not because you didn't achieve something real, but because you lost something even more real in the process, yourself. You forgot how to sit still. You forgot what mattered. You forgot how to recognize your own voice beneath the noise. You became so good at being what others needed you to be, that there was no space left for what you needed. Carl Jung called it the persona, the mask we wear to survive in society, and it's useful until it isn't. Because when the mask becomes permanent, when we forget that we're wearing it, it becomes a prison, a life built to be admired, but not felt. You become the image, you become the expectation, and somewhere beneath it all, your soul whispers, "This isn't me," but you're too busy, too responsible, too admired. So you keep going, smiling, delivering, performing, until your body says enough, or your spirit begins to fade, the wake-up call. If you've ever felt this, that haunting emptiness in the midst of success, you're not alone. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means something inside you is finally telling the truth. That this version of success isn't enough. That it's time to come home. Not to your resume, not to your reputation, but to yourself. The version of you that's been waiting, through the hustle, through the pressure, through the applause, waiting for you to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Returning to yourself doesn't mean quitting everything. It means asking new questions. What actually matters to me now? What makes me feel real, even if no one is watching? Who am I becoming in the process of pursuing this life? It means slowing down long enough to feel, to grieve what you lost, to reclaim what you still have. It means rebuilding, not for status, but for sanity. Not to impress, but to reconnect. To build a life where success is not about becoming more impressive, but more honest. Where fulfillment is measured not by what you've built, but by what's alive inside you. What if success wasn't about being the best, but being the most true? What if winning meant being able to rest, to laugh from the gut, to speak from the heart, and not be afraid of losing approval? What if the real success is learning how to live without the mask, to be ordinary, real, unpolished, and finally feel free? That's the journey I'm on now. Not chasing, not proving, but returning to presence, to peace, to purpose that feels like mine. If you've ever felt like success almost killed you, maybe it didn't. Maybe it just stripped away everything that wasn't truly you, so you could begin again. This time, not to perform, not to fit in, but to feel, to breathe, to remember, to return. And if that's where you are now, you're not behind, you're not broken, you're just waking up. If this resonates, leave a comment with one word: returning. Not for the algorithm, not for me, but as a signal to yourself, and maybe to someone else, scrolling silently, who needs to know they're not alone. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe, not to follow, but to walk together. Back to ourselves, back to what matters, back to what's real.